I'm here with Mr. Mlungisi Makhaya, all the way from Eswatini, a member and a leader of one of the opposition parties in Eswatini, PUDEMO, and he's here to give, a word of solidarity to the CIC, the leader of the EFF, and also you've traveled all this way, when you came to South Africa to support the EFF. What is the thought process behind the sentencing and so on?
Well, our thought process is that of appreciating that this is not just a trial against an individual. This is persecution against a cause that we know as PUDEMO, that it is a cause that has offended the establishment as represented by the fascist Donald Trump. As PUDEMO, we understand that it was not by coincidence that President Malema was discussed at the White House. It's precisely because how the establishment works is that in collaboration with its local representatives, it identified principal leaders who are pursuing genuine principal struggles, particularly struggles of former colonized spaces. Now, President Malema, as a pan-Africanist leader who has never shied away to stand in solidarity with oppressed people, both in the continent and in diaspora. For us as people of Eswatini, President Malema and the EFF were one of the first people to speak out when that autocratic king massacred our people in 2021 during the June massacre in Swaziland, where over 100 people were killed for peacefully protesting, demanding that they want political parties, they want to elect their own prime minister, they want their own freedom. Your viewers will remember that the EFF conducted a series of border blockades against the autocratic Swazi regime. So there is one thing about loyalty. Loyalty is serviced. So we are here to lend our solidarity and support to President Malema, to the economic freedom fighters, but most importantly, to a cause which we as PUDEMO identify with also. So we don't just think that it is the individual inside the accused person box that is appearing here today. We think that it is the party that he leads. We think that most importantly, it is the cause, the principles and the values that he stands for, values that we identify with as PUDEMO. And we are here to send a very strong message that if that magistrate thinks that this was a matter of an individual, if that magistrate thinks that this is a matter of just one country, this is a matter of international importance, and we in our respective jurisdictions stand ready to rise up in defense of President Malema, in defense of the values and the principles he stands for, but because we think that the time has come, that as Africans, we need to be assertive, we need to be unapologetic, that we need the land to be restored to its rightful owners, which are the people of the continent. We need the mineral endowments beneath and above our respective soils to be again restored back to the ownership. But most importantly, the sovereignty and the autonomy of the African must be an absolute no-go area. It offends us as PUDEMO when we see African leaders falling over each other, going to European capital cities to come and to go there and discuss what they ought to be discussing with Africans here in the continent. And we think that as a result of that, we are here. This is just the beginning. We will be here throughout. We thought as PUDEMO, having watched over time the serious persecutions that have been targeted at President Malema, that this was one of those matters that the courts are going to dismiss, like it happened with that matter of assault. But when the conviction came, we then realized that this is a battle royal. We take no prisoners but dead bodies only. Only those who stands for conviction and principle needs to stand up and be counted. And this is where we are.
Mr. Makhaya, what do you say to people that say that it's not persecution, as you would say, and it's also a matter of setting a precedent, of if you break the law, we punish you?
Well, it will be very interesting that people will want to be selective when it comes to say what is breaking the law. But I think we also want to elevate the discussion even further. Whose law are we talking about? Because in this continent, the proliferation of firearms is found with, by and large, one race, the white race. If you attend a lot of activities of AfriForum, Solidarity, and other white organizations, there is an unbelievable discharge of firearms there. Now, in this case, it's even worse because here we are talking about a toy gun. Now, we are keenly interested in understanding the thinking process of the magistrate. To say, if you are saying that was not a toy gun, why then is the firearm, as we come for sentencing, not in the hands of the court? You would remember that the firearm was released, given back to the owner. When you apply for a license for a firearm, you are the person who's taken through all the processes, rules and regulations around firearm ownership. So when you give that firearm to someone else, you even have a higher responsibility as the one who owns the firearm, because you ought to know better. But in this case, something very strange happened. The one who ought to have known better gets discharged. The one who's alleged to have discharged the firearm gets convicted. But we think that those are just nothing but legal mechanics that are aimed at diverting us at what this matter is about. We actually think that this matter is about getting President Malema at all costs. And we need to focus on what is the matter at hand, not these diversionary issues that people want us to discuss here, which do not even arise.
Mr. Makhaya, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, we're streaming live and we're broadcasting live outside the East London Magistrates Court as everyone anticipates and awaits the pre-sentencing hearing of EFF leader Julius Malema. Stay tuned on The Voice Lounge. Igama lam, Lungazo Lavanda.
The Voice Lounge, where voices come to life.